Welcome back to the CUSA Tip-Off Show. Let's head on down to Ruston, Louisiana. Check on the preseason favorite on the women's side. Louisiana Tech Lady Texters. Brooke Storr in her 10th season has a good ball club coming back. 5 of her top 6 scorers are returning. That includes Paris Bradley. She was the Conference USA Freshman of the Year last year, preseason Player of the Year this time around. They were 8-10 in Conference USA last season, but they ended up making the Great 8 of the WNIT. And let's just say expectations are high in Ruston for this group. We're joined now by head coach Brooke Storr and Paris Bradley. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Coach, I don't know if you know this, but it is not normal in this league to bring back 5 of your top 6 scorers. How does it feel to be the envy of every coach in Conference USA?
Well, I think it's just incredible that we get to spend time around this group. They were a special group to work with last year, and it's been fun to watch them grow. And, last year we were the babies on the block. We had 7 freshmen and played 4 a lot and started 3 of them. And when you can have a group that wants to be around each other and wants to play for each other and come back and do something special, it's very rare in this day and time, and we're going to enjoy it while we have it and try to enjoy every moment and see what this group can accomplish together.
Coach, not only do you have players back that played with each other for you, you also brought in some teammates that came in from Three Rivers Community College, Kaylee Thompson and Alexia Weaver. How have they immediately been made an impact early in the season?
Well, I think just their ability to come in and know each other a little bit, but they compete really well. I think they're both very talented players. They know how to win. They've been a part of a successful junior college program, and they're workers. They show up every day and work, and I think Paris can probably speak to that, of how it's been in practice. And I think it's something it's given her some excitement too, of knowing she's got those 2 on the floor with her, as well as our returners. So it's been fun to have them, and they brought a new energy, but they've brought experience, and I think that's been key for this group.
Paris, 8 CUSA Freshman of the Week awards last year. There's been talk of just naming the award the Paris Bradley Award. That hasn't been confirmed, still in talks. How do you improve upon that freshman season? What have you been working on?
I feel like there's always room to improve with basketball. Especially like on the defensive end, everybody can always have better defense. So yeah, just trying to buy into defense, starting to use my voice more in ways that can just help my teammates. And then, just going to go get buckets and finding a way to do that.
So, Paris, we're going to earmuff your coach for this one because she's not going to like this question. But because I know she's told you, don't look at the polls, don't do it. But what did you feel like to see your name, your team's name, at the top of this preseason poll with all that you guys accomplished last season and the expectations on you guys this year?
Honestly, it was nice to see, but I think that we shouldn't get too caught up in it, only because we have a lot to accomplish this year, and all that was kind of based off of last year. So I feel like we need to come in with a new mindset. Yes, we should be thankful and grateful that we are at the top, but I do think we should focus on trying to really be at the top by the end of the season.
Coach, is that a future coach sitting next to you? She's got it all the coach speak down.
Right there. No, it's great. And I think that's what we try to instill in them. And it doesn't matter. This is my 10th year, and I don't care what the preseason polls were for the previous 9. We were talking about it earlier. So she came from class. It's the first time I've seen her today. And so just knowing, we want to be there at the end of the year. I want her to get Player of the Year at the end of the year. I want our team to win and hold that trophy up at the end of the year. And a lot is going to happen, and a lot is going to take place between now and then. And we're trying to string 2 and 3 good practices together at this point, because it's early October, and that's what we should be doing. We should be showing up every day and learning how to compete. And this group has to learn how to win. We've got to figure out what combinations to play together and who plays best together. And that can look very different than what last year was. And so we've got to be able to show up every day and compete and give our best for each other in order for that to happen.
Yeah, last thing, Coach, do you feel like this group even understands what their ceiling could be at this point?
I don't, and I don't think we do either as a staff. And I think those things are going to evolve and develop as we go. And I think that's something that's exciting. I think we have a lot of talent in our locker room, but we've talked about this a lot, through the off season in our development, and then through the summer with this new group, is we have to learn how to win. And the most talented teams don't always win. Just showing up is not good enough. It's the teams that play the best together are the ones that are most successful, and we've got to find that with this group and figure that out. And it's going to be a day-by-day process, and a lot's going to take place between now and March. And we just want to be standing there holding that trophy and cutting those nets down. We've talked about, being a confident family that's consistently tenacious and resilient in a pursuit of a championship, and that's what their vision is. And we're going to stick to that every day.
Well, Coach, it's going to be fun to watch and see how this group comes together. We appreciate both of you spending some time with us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Kelly, we said it, like 5 of your top 6 scores coming back. How do you sum up what that means, especially this day and age when so few have that opportunity?
Yeah, it's unprecedented, honestly, in this age of basketball in general, and really college sports, I think, with the portal. But it speaks a lot to what Coach Storr and her staff are doing, because the fact that those players wanted to stay, that they wanted to remain together, that they trust the development process. And I mean, you look at just even the administration, right, making it available for them to stay. So, where other teams right now are having to implement schemes and offenses and defenses, trying to get people to learn what they're trying to do, they get to build on last year's success. They get to bring in some new wrinkles and add to the success that they've already had. So you heard from Coach Storr. She doesn't even know how good this team could be, and I can tell.
Not trying to be over the top here, but is this a program that's ready to return to the level that they've been at before? Now, I know they've won a couple national championships. I'm not saying that for this year, but is this a program that's ready to kind of go back to being the top dog, which they've been in years past?
I think any good coach will tell you that you need to have great players. And, we have watched Coach Storr, especially in these last couple of years, bring in consistently great freshmen. She had 2 on last year's all-freshman team, 1 being the freshman of the year. She had 2 on the prior. She's got the preseason player of the year. Not that matters. I know she knows that, but don't worry. But, she's bringing in great kids, and you've got to be able to do that. Now they have to build on that. You heard her, you got to learn how to win, and you have to have that confidence. That's why I think this preseason #1 ranking is actually going to help them quite a bit, because now they believe in themselves. Their conference believes in them, and now they got to go get wins.
Well, and as we've seen on the women's side, the champion that comes out of Conference USA the last couple of years has been a problem in the NCAA tournament. So if they are able to get that done, they're going to probably put themselves in the national picture at some level. All right, let's take a turn to the men now for Louisiana Tech. They, too, a lot of changes there. They lost their top 4 scorers from a season ago. It was a 9-9 season last year. Then 10 total players moved on following the season. That includes the big man in the middle, Daniel Bacho, the great center for them from the last couple of seasons. They've been preseason picked 5th this season. A lot of newcomers, especially from the JUCO ranks, as Talvin Hester tries to get this program back on track with a whole lot of new faces. All right, pleased to be joined now by head coach Talvin Hester, junior Caden Cooper. And coach, the last couple of years when people thought of your program, they thought of Daniel Bacho, right? Big man in the middle. He moves on. How does that change what your team looks like, maybe what your style of play looks like this year, if at all, without the big man in the middle?
I don't know if it changed our style of play. We still want to be really defensive. We just don't know if we're going to have that presence back there. But we're hopefully grooming some guys to be rim protectors and rebound the ball like Daniel did. What we focus on and what we do and what we're about every day doesn't change that too much.
Coach, a lot of newcomers in the program. Seems like a lot of people go the transfer route. You went heavy into the junior college, the JUCO route. What was your philosophy there? How did that work out with you guys?
You want to know the truth? Bang for your buck.
We want the truth.
Nothing wrong with that.
You're in the NIL area, and you want to get value for what you're getting. And so we felt like there were some really good JUCO players out there. They haven't been proven at this level, but I think with time, JUCO players take a little bit with time. I think we got some good size and length and skill levels at certain positions. And we just put a team together. We knew we had Caden and AJ Bates and Will Jeffers coming back, so we had some older guys coming back. We just wanted to put people around them.
Yeah, Coach, who are a couple of those guys that you've seen stand out so far?
It's been different every day. I mean, I could tell you yesterday might have been, Jamarian Anderson or or yesterday might have been Kylan House, one of our big guys. And so it's fluctuated. Avery Thomas has had some really good days. DJ Dudley's had some really good days. We just got Scooter Williams back, so we're looking for him to have some good days coming soon. And so it's fluctuated, and I think what we're fighting for with a bunch of new JUCO guys is the consistency of who's playing good every day. I know I'm on Caden and our returners pretty hard because they got to lead this program and what our culture is and what we're about. And so I ride them a little bit so that the new guys can understand how it looks and what we're supposed to be.
Caden, they list you at 6'5". You led this team in rebounding last year, one of the more impressive stats in Conference USA from a season ago. What, though, have you been working on other parts of your game in the offseason? What have you been looking to grow in your game?
Really just being a smart basketball player, keeping my shot consistent and, just working on leading this team and, the ways that Coach S wants me to. Being a returner, I think that's a big role. Like he said, we have a lot of new guys and just showing them, what we're about and the things that, we need to succeed in this league. I think that's important for me to kind of bleed onto them.
Yeah, let's continue that thought, Caden. So obviously, Coach needs some scoring out of you, but he needs leadership out of you too. So let me give you this question. I'll give you a multiple choice. Tell us about your leadership style. Are you a vocal leader? Are you more of an emotional leader? Or are you a lead by example kind of guy?
I think I'm a little bit of a vocal and kind of lead by example. I think leading by example is more important for me. Just, with consistency and coming in and doing everything the same way every day, kind of not being too high or too low. I think it just shows the guys, strength and mental toughness and that, we have someone that's dependable and can, we can trust him at all times. And, if games get tough, then, we know this guy's not going to break and we can, go to him and look for him for answers.
I think you just went all of the above on you.
Yeah, that's D, all of the above
on that multiple choice.
That's great leadership.
Last thing for me, Coach, Will Jeffress, maybe kind of the forgotten man for you guys. He was injured so early in the season. I know you spoke so highly of him as a kid and a player when he went down with injury. What can he bring to your team now this year, assuming he stays healthy?
The ability to stretch the floor with size and a guy that can still rebound the basketball. We haven't had a guy like that in his position since we lost him. We had Isaiah Crawford the year before, who shot 40 from 3 and rebounded the ball, and he gives us the ability to do that and stay big and skilled at the same time. And we're looking forward to him coming back.
Well, we are looking forward to seeing him on the floor as well. Guys, appreciate the time today. Best of luck this season.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys also.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you guys. All right, Naz, we started with, we talk about, again, you think of Louisiana Tech, you thought Daniel Baccio. He was unique in this league. He's one of the most dominant players in this league. How do they move forward with life after Baccio? Yeah,
it's definitely something that you have to reckon with. Yeah. And, Coach sort of said that, I don't think they have to go totally away from their scheme. And, again, they've brought in some guys to fill the post positions. And here's the other thing about this league. There's times where if you can go big, you go big. But we've seen teams be successful without a dominant center. Yeah. So, again, it's early. They're working through those. They got to have a plan A and a plan B. But Coach Hester has been around, a great coach, experienced guy. He'll have them ready with some schemes. I loved his answer for the JUCO question. More bang for your buck. As you take a look at it, going that JUCO route, there's pros and cons. How do you view it? Yeah, it's very interesting because the transfers sort of get all the news and you hear about that. But a lot of times those guys come with limited minutes. Sure. And that's why they're looking for a different place, or maybe it's injuries. So what you get with JUCO, and Coach mentioned it, it's going to be a different level. Yeah. But what you get with those guys is they've played a lot of minutes. When you're JUCO, whether you're there a year or two, you are on the court, you're seasoned, you're used to playing. It'll just be those guys kind of getting up to conference level, USA competition level. Yeah, some built-in experience coming with those guys. We'll see if it pays off for La Tech this season. All right, we're going to step aside now, but when we come back, we continue on and check in on the Blue Raiders. What does this season hold for Middle Tennessee hoops? We'll find out when this CUSA Tip-Off Show continues.